If you took everything from my $1 million plus net worth today, I'm talking my Maybach, my watches, my business, all of it, the first thing I would do to go get it back is grab one of these. This simple $20 journal right here is the reason I was able to go from a broke college kid serving drinks out of my dorm room to now making millions at 24. I am not exaggerating when I say this simple habit that takes 5 minutes a day changed the entire trajectory of my life. Before I started journaling, I was just another kid with an empty bank account and big dreams. Now I'm running a multi-7-figure business and helping others to do the same. Just look at my wrist here. I literally have it journaled on myself. One day, Jimmy Farley will be somebody. And I got this tattoo back when I had nothing to show for it. I put everything I had into my business. People thought I was delusional. My friends were probably clowning me. But what they didn't know is that I was writing my own future into existence. So in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how I journal, what I've written, and the exact processes I've used to now get this life that I was journaling about 5 years ago. And before you think this is some crystal girl woo-woo shit, no, I need you to trust me on this and understand that this is coming from a real place of science and belief in psychology. And I would never make a whole YouTube video relying on something of writing it and throwing it over your shoulder into the universe. This is based on reality, and the reality that you can change your life from it too, and I truly believe that. The biggest reason people fail isn't a lack of knowledge or even oftentimes a lack of work ethic, it's their mindset. If you don't truly believe you're worth something or can have something, why is it ever going to come to you? And I'll tell you firsthand, I was guilty of this my entire life. I was all over the place mentally, jumping from thing to thing. I never gave myself enough time to work, always tried to rush through new things and make another excuse to move on to the next. I was living in a constant place of reaction mode and never creation mode. I was constantly doubting myself, and most importantly, I had no clarity on the person I wanted to become. And I wasn't able to actually change my mindset until I got to the root cause, actually taking the time to talk and have a relationship with myself, which to me cannot be done unless you are doing things like writing down your goals and getting in touch with the person you want to become every single day. And once I started doing these things and these journaling tactics that I'm about to explain to you in a second, it was amazing how all these things just started happening in my life that I was writing down in my journal. And all those things I struggled with before, having clarity, having trust in myself, belief, all got thrown out the window once I knew I had a strategy that would actually make things happen, because I was becoming in tune with the person I wanted to be. I was becoming the person I wanted to be before it even happened. And so as I wrote my goals, they were already coming true in the future I was already living. I was just waiting for time to catch up in front of me. And one of my earliest experiences with journaling comes to this photo I have from July 22nd, 2020. I'll put it up here on the screen, where I said, nothing is that great right now, but I can see the future so clear. I'm going to figure out this business shit and change my life. All I want is good food, a nice car, money in the bank, and for my mom to be in her dream house. Until then, it's do or die. I promise to always trust the process and help others as much as possible. Thank you, universe. I love you. And the fact that I have everything on this list and more in this life right now is just a coincidence. Yeah, I think absolutely fucking not. Now, through this, back in those times, I definitely had no idea the actual effective strategies to journal your goals, to live your dream life. And it still worked, which just goes to show the power of this stuff that we do. And I know this because I have tested virtually every single style of journaling you can possibly do. And today I'm going to share with you the one that I personally think is by far the most effective at literally having your dreams chase you and find you in the ways you never thought were humanly possible. And that is what I call the gratitude journal method. And here's exactly how I structure my gratitude journal to rewire my brain to focus on abundance and these dreams that I have instead of scarcity and my fears that I have. And you can steal this to do the same in your life too. And I want to preface this by saying you might find your own system to work off of this, but this is the one that I teach everyone because I find it to be the most effective for me and the other people that I teach it to. And it starts first with getting your setting down perfect. Every night, 5 minutes before I go to bed, total silence, no apps, no social media, no nothing. I reach over and grab my journal. I flip open a page, grab my pen, and I start writing. And I don't want you to overthink, because simplicity here is very important. I write the 3 to 5 things that I am really focusing on, trying to attract into my life. And it might even be 1 or 2 things that you're really trying to attract into your life, as if I already have them, with gratitude. So just for example purposes, some of the things that I have in my life, I will tell you right now. I'm so grateful that I am a millionaire. I'm so thankful that I have $1 million. I am so happy to be a millionaire today. And this whole time through, I am literally thinking and feeling like I have them in this moment. In this time, in this 5 minutes that you are journaling, nothing else in reality exists, okay? You are here with your dreams, experiencing them, visualizing them like you already have them, and you are thanking the world for having them. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies, whether you believe in that shit or not. It is science that you can feel in your body. You are letting off electricity out of your body. And when you are in a state of gratitude, it is one of the highest frequencies you can experience. And that is why you feel so good. It's so hard to not be happy and feel amazing when you are truly grateful and know that something is coming into your life. Actually, you are writing it like you already have it. And as I repeat that, I go into another piece of gratitude of a goal I have. I am so grateful to be living in my dream apartment. I am so grateful that I get to go to sleep every single night in my dream apartment. I am so thankful that I moved in to my dream apartment in the perfect location I always dreamed of. I'm so thankful my dream apartment came into my life at the perfect time. I am so grateful that I am now living in my dream life. I'm so thankful that I'm now living my dream life in my dream apartment as a millionaire. But for you, those things might be your first $1,000 month, your first $10,000 month, shit, your first $100 month. Whatever it is, I want you to dream and write down something that you think is actually tangible, and even better, just a little bit higher than what you know is actually tangible in your life. Because you want to push yourself to know and get proven that this stuff actually works. Because the key here is consistency. When you write this stuff every single day, you're gonna start tricking yourself into believing this is already your life. So I'm writing this down and I'm writing this down. And I go and I close my eyes after and just feel those things of gratitude. And I close the journal and go to bed. And when I wake up, I know I'm gonna have the same life for the most part that I had when I went to bed. But I know that time is slowly starting to catch up, right? This is something we say when you are really in line with this person that you want to become, and you know you are becoming. It's just a matter of when time catches up that these things come into your life. And first thing I do in the morning is pick up where I left off and continue that momentum into my day. And I'm once again journaling. I am so thankful to be a millionaire. I'm so grateful that I am living in my dream apartment. I am so grateful that I am continuing to make millions of dollars online. I am so grateful that I'm hitting my first $10,000 month. I am so grateful that that business I started took off. I am so grateful that I got my first $1,000 week on TikTok Shop. I am so grateful that this business that I had is finally getting successful and being profitable. Whatever you think that you want, whatever you desire in your life, you can have in this journal. Believe that this is a magic power, and not on some whoopty shit like I said, but simply just for the mental practice of expanding your mind. And when you carry this energy and this simplicity of 5 minutes a day, right? It literally probably takes 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night, consistently over and over and over. Even if you don't believe it, I don't expect you to believe this shit right off the bat, but just give it one more day. Give it one more week. Give it one more month. And don't stop until it happens. It takes 5 minutes. What makes you think when people say, oh, well, I don't need a journal to be successful. All right, dude, it takes 5 minutes. Even if it doesn't work for you or you think it's not gonna work, wouldn't you wanna not leave anything up to chance? Wouldn't you want to put in the work anyways, just in case? Because I know someone like me, I'm not gonna leave nothing up to chance when it comes to chasing my dreams and paying off my mom's house and putting my mom in her car and changing my family's life and living in my dream apartment, becoming a millionaire. I'm not leaving something that takes 5 minutes up to chance, okay? And I know that you don't wanna do that either. And then once again, just like when I went to bed, I close my journal and carry that energy into my life every single day. It's a fulfilling journey all the way through. Whether or not you have these things already in your life that you're journaling, the clarity of knowing where you're going and knowing what you want and that you're taking action towards it should feel good in that moment immediately anyways. And that is how you are gonna get the dopamine hit to always stay consistent with it. People ask me all the time, how do I stay consistent with it? Oh, I just struggle to be consistent with it. It's because you're not understanding the fundamentals of actually how to stay consistent with it. And that's enjoy the process. You can't stick with anything if you don't enjoy. This is why they say, trust the process. I actually think they should say, enjoy the process. Because it's not about trust. That sounds like, oh, I don't really know, I'm unsure. No, I'm exactly sure of where I'm going. And I am getting clarity every single moment to trust myself and building self-worth, because when these come about, right, and you work your way up in journaling, start small. You start small and just a little bit above what you think is possible, and you achieve it, you're going to get proof of concept that gives you the confidence into pushing more into bigger dreams. Why would you ever shoot for $100,000 a month when you haven't even made $100? Start with that $100 and succeed in it, and rip that page out of your journal and hang it up on your wall. That's a win. Then do $1,000 a week. Boom, rip that off, throw it up. Then do a $10,000 a week, whatever it is, $10,000 a month, rip that off and hang it up, and work your way up. So now you are building self-worth, the most powerful thing in this entire world that will help you to not only have better relationships with other people, with your business, everything, but most importantly with the only person you're gonna be around 24/7, 365 days for the rest of your life, and that's you. So this is something that is going to help you through that tremendously in building a relationship with the person who's not that girl you met at the bar, who's not that person in your life that you grew up with. It's yourself. Now that we've covered the structure of how I'm writing in my gratitude journal every single day, like I said again, I want to cover some things that will help you supercharge your results and get more in touch with yourself and your goals and make them come into your life even faster while still spending minimum time per day. The goal is 5 to 15 minutes max per day on this. And that is some other self-work like meditating, praying, and visualizing with affirmations. Journaling is something I just use as a kind of master capture of self-work. I think it's the most effective thing. It is literally scientifically proven that if you write down your goals, you are 42% more likely to achieve them. And any kind of visualizing that works for you to get to that point is going to be effective as well. While you are journaling, like I said, you need to make sure that you are in line with visualizing them, feeling them, seeing yourself with these things. But that can also be done via meditating, taking the time to sit there, close your eyes, and take those journaled thoughts that you see visually in front of you into your mind and visualize them in the mental as well as the physical. Praying to whoever or whatever you believe in. I personally believe in God. Now that I've done enough talking about the actual setup, showed you what it looks like, I want to show you what some actual results look like too, past myself. I can tell you all about how it made me a multi-millionaire, allowed me to grow my TikTok business, do hundreds of millions of views on TikTok for products, eventually lead into making a multi-million-dollar TikTok business where I help others do the same. So I speak a lot from that frame, but the results go so far past me. I'm just here to be a messenger of these techniques that changed my life, but now I get to watch my students change their life way past and way deeper than all this TikTok and business model stuff that we do. And this can be done for anything in your life, not just TikTok like I have to show you personally. It could be for the gym, it could be for trading, it could be for sales, it could be for the relationship with your family. Whatever it is that you are looking to transform in your life, these examples that I'm about to show you from some of my students are just placeholders for what you are trying to achieve in your life. But shit, if you want to achieve with us, you can see it tangibly of what it looks like. Here is a message from my guy Frank, who talked about journaling his first $20,000 a month for months before it came into fruition in his life. And one of the coolest parts about this too is you'll see in all these messages that people have spiritual experiences way past just achieving the material. They'll talk about their friends, their family, and as you see here, Frank saying, I've also built lifelong friends through it all. God, this shit gets me so hyped. Next, we have one of my guys, Christian, who actually showed his real journal entry for things that he has now in his life. He's crushed $10,000 months, $20,000 months, and his biggest month, $25,000 in a single month. And sure enough, he journaled it right there in the flesh for you to see before it even happened. And the first thing he tells to everybody else in the group is make sure you stick with that journaling, because that shit works. And another one of my students, Claire, who in her first month of creating for one of the products we work with, crushes over $100,000 in revenue, takes home over $30,000 in profit for herself. And what's the first thing she references? Journaling. Guys, this stuff is not a secret. It's in front of your face for you to steal. It's really possible, and it takes you just believing and knowing it and showing up every day to do it. This stuff isn't whoop-de-woo-woo crystal stuff that is saying you write it down and it comes to you without working. No, you write it down and it comes to you when you work for it. You just gotta wait. And last but not least, I wanna show you one more example that I think encapsulates that idea perfectly from my guy, Max Moser, who tells you firsthand the most important thing is that you keep pushing. You can't just write these things down and wait for them to come to you. That does nothing, and I will never, ever be a person who promotes that kind of thinking. It takes you showing up and putting in the work and being consistent for you to get those blessings. But just as I say that, Max will tell you this journaling shit really works. Keep journaling, keep getting 1% better, and I promise you this can be you too. As Max Moser himself said, who has crushed some $50,000 plus months, and in this one did $15,000 in a single week in profit. And even though I see things like this every single day from my students and other people in my life, it never ceases to amaze me how fucking real this stuff is. And what's so cool and fulfilling about it is I get to relive all of my best moments from first coming up, getting my first big win journaling vicariously through these people in my group and around me in my life. And that is what can happen for you if you get around people who do this like we have in our group, or wherever you have in your life. You send this to a friend, you send this to a family member, and you guys stick together and do it and chase your dreams and be that support system. But always know that you don't need someone else to make that happen, because your journal will always be there for you, and the friend that you need to get in touch with, once again, the only person that you're gonna be with 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life, and that is you. So make sure you take the time to have a relationship with yourself and work on yourself and speak to your future self that's coming about, as long as you just let time catch up. Amen.